Rat, but I was in with the FBI. So goes the defense in the Whitey Bulger trial up in Boston. Opening statements finally got underway today in the Boston mob boss's multiple murder trial. Local lawyer and former prosecutor Mark Dano, an analyst with NBC 10, is in with the rap on day one. Mark, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Gene.
Well, everybody deserves a defense.
Yes.
Even somebody like Whitey Bulger, who has had years and years of terrible publicity.
Absolutely.
What are his chances?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, what happens here now is that the defense is going to have a lot to work with because the prosecution's witnesses are not stellar. I mean, they are murderers. They are people who have, self-proclaimed murderers. And so the defense is going to have a lot of cross-examining on these folks. So it might not be as much of a slam dunk as some people think.
All right, so we look at the witnesses. We also look at Bulger. The defense strategy is interesting. He's saying, listen, I was in with the FBI. They knew what I was doing. They sanctioned it. And on the other hand, he says, I wasn't a rat.
Right.
I was even conning the FBI. But nonetheless, they knew what I was doing, so you can't charge him with a crime.
Right. The last thing anyone like Whitey Bulger wants anyone to think about of him is that he's a rat.
Right.
It's just not part of the code. But I think the facts are going to come out that they have like 700 pages the judges let in of documentation showing that there was some relationship there between him and the FBI.
Oh, books have been written about it. He was, in fact, an informant for the FBI.
Absolutely.
What kind of information he gave them? He will say, I gave him, a bunch of garbage.
Right.
Just to keep them on my side because I wanted to know when the heat was coming down. I mean, can you get any traction out of that? Or listen, Whitey, if you paid the FBI, that's a crime too.
Well, it could be. And the other side of it is what the defense is going to say is, no, we didn't do it that way. I mean, we were given information. That's why I went on the lam for 16 years, because I knew I was going to be indicted. They gave me information. I didn't give it to them.
A couple of quick questions. Who would want to be a jury on this case?
It's a long
juror.
one. Yeah, it's going to be a long one, so it's going to take a lot of effort and sacrifice for these jurors to come in every day and sit for 3 or 4 months.
Let's say you do get Whitey in the end. You convict him. He's 83 years old. He'll be 84, maybe 85 by the time, Can you punish somebody like that? He'll end up in Fort Devens in the hospital at some point?
At some point. I mean, any single one conviction of any of these charges is a life sentence for a man who's 83. What the prosecution is going to do here is they're going to show Whitey Bulger as a young man in the 80s when this took place. They're going to get pictures and show what he's about then, not this man in tennis shoes sitting at the counsel table.
The moral victory would be, well, we got him.
Yes.
Whatever it age is, we got him in the end.
Right. I think that's probably the correct.
All right, Mark Dana, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Gene.
It's only just beginning here.